Administration expert performs initial setup tasks to enable users for their daily work. After the contract closes, you can start the provisioning of your SAP Central Business Configuration tenants in SAP for me. The SAP Service Center then takes care of the provisioning. The SAP Service Center sends a handover emails with the URLs and logon information to the email address maintained in the contract. Besides provisioning crucial information about your SAP Central Business Configuration System, these emails give you the information required to access the Identity Authentication Service IAS and Identity Provisioning Services IPS, so that you can set up your users first of all. Open the link to the user setup and access guide for SAP Central Business Configuration from the SAP Central Business Configuration handover mail. The initial administration user has immediate access to SAP Central Business Configuration. However, for all other users, you need to perform the tasks described in this guide in the next steps. At first, you need to create business users and provide access rights in IAS so that project members can work with SAP Central Business Configuration. Launch IAS to create business users for SAP Central Business Configuration. You can either import users from another application or create a new users. For example, choose import users, select user profile, choose browse will let you select CSV file. Note that the CSV file needs to have certain format besides status, mail and last name. It should also contain login name so that users will be able to log on. For more details, go to the Identity Authentication Guide. Choosing the import will import the users maintained in the CSV file. Once you have imported the user data, you can send out emails to the employees in question in the subsequent step. This provides them with the information needed to activate their user and set their passwords, which changes the status of their users to active. Note that they can only do this once you have finished the job to replicate users from IAS to SAP Central Business Configuration, which we explain later in this session. Currently, alternative to create new users, choose users and authorizations. Choose user management. Choose add user. Make sure to fill in the required fields including login name and select send activation email. Once you save, an activation email is sent out to the employee in question so that they can activate their user and set their password. Once they have done that, the status of their user changes to active. Choose save. To assign roles, choose the newly created user. Choose user groups. Choose assign. Select a suitable user group for the user. So we have consumption or display user, CBC consumption activity all, CBC consumption key user, consumption auditor, and project lead, program lead. So we have different authorizations. Select suitable user group for the user. So here we selected project lead. Save. You have given a role to the business user by assigning the user group. To replicate users from IAS to SAP Central Business Configuration, you have to run a job in IBS. Only users whose status is active are replicated. Choose Identity Provisioning. Choose Source Systems. Select IAS. Choose Jobs. For read job, choose Run Now. You have run the job in IPS to replicate users from IIS to SAP Central Business Configuration. Finally, provide business users with the following information. Statement that SAP Central Business Configuration is ready to use. URL to SAP Central Business Configuration provided in the access information for your SAP Central Business Configuration system. Statement that users can set their password when clicking on the activation link in the email sent from the Identity Authentication Service. The automated email will be sent once the user is created. The link to the project experience user guide, which will help business users getting started with the project and configuration tasks. You have successfully set up business users for SAP Central Business Configuration. Once this part of the user activation has been completed, you can continue with the initial system access to SAP S/4HANA Cloud steps. You have learned about the initial setup tasks to enable users for their daily work.